Hello and welcome back to Euro Football Daily, where today we are profiling a list of 10 players who just can't wait to leave their current clubs this summer. 10. Hakan Çalhanoğlu. If you look at Hakan Çalhanoğlu's raw numbers this season at AC Milan, you would struggle to see the issue. 4 goals and 3 assists in 25 Serie A games is far from a disaster, and only Ante Rebic with 8 has contributed more league goals. Not only that, but the 48-capped Turkish international has fired off 3.2 shots a game, third in the squad, and created 2 chances per 90 as well, giving him a combined expected goals and assists per 90 ratio of 0.41, 6th in the squad. But those numbers only scratch the surface. The former Bayer Leverkusen player is far from popular with the Rossoneri faithful, who see him as incredibly wasteful. And in fairness, they have a point. Only 5 players in Italy take more than his 2 shots per 90 from outside the area, while he loses possession nearly 3 times a game. This perceived selfishness can't make up for the 29 goal contributions over the last 3 league seasons, and with just 1 year remaining on his current contract, Çalhanoğlu may well look to move on to somewhere he is better appreciated this summer. 9. Socrates. Prior to the appointment of Mikel Arteta, 32-year-old centre-back Socrates had featured in 18 of Arsenal's 25 matches this campaign. However, the return of the former Gooner has seen his game time drastically reduced, with just 5 appearances in their last 12 games. And despite having no discernible injury, Pablo Mari being sidelined and David Luiz suspended, the 90-capped Greek international has only made 2 matchday squads since the resumption, with Mustafi having played the full 90 in all but one of Arsenal's last 7 League and Europa League fixtures, and Holding and Mari getting minutes ahead of him since the restart. It's clear that Socrates is no longer in the Spaniards' first team plans. With William Saliba finally arriving this summer, Mari signing a new 4-year deal, and Callum Chambers set to return from injury prior to next season, the competition is only likely to become tougher. Having failed to play over 30 league games in a season since 2011-12 with Wolfsburg, Socrates will need to move this summer to keep his declining career alive. Before we move on to our next player, just a quick reminder to, if you haven't already, subscribe to EFD and hit that notification bell so you don't miss another great video like this one. 8. Javi Martínez. Javi Martínez has been a fantastic servant to Bayern Munich. Signed from boyhood club Athletic Bilbao for €40 million in 2012 after helping them to Europa League and Copa del Rey final, the 31-year-old has more than repaid that fee. He made 43 appearances in his debut campaign as Bayern won the treble, starting in midfield alongside Bastian Schweinsteiger as the Bavarians won their 5th and most recent Champions League. And although he has had his fair share of injury woes, requiring surgery on his groin, cruciate and meniscus in 3 consecutive seasons between 13-14 and 15-16, the fact he has still averaged 30 games a season across 8 campaigns shows his worth. But with injuries continuing to plague his career, with 13 games missed this season, it's unsurprising that Bayern have looked to the future in recent windows, signing Hernandez, Pavard and more recently Kouassi. Now 31, Martinez can leave this summer knowing that only one player in history, Franck Ribéry, can top his 8 Bundesliga titles. 7. Federico Chiesa. Despite having a squad which contains exceptional young talents in Dragowski, Milenkovic, Castrovilli and Vlahovic, Fiorentina have largely struggled this season, finding themselves in 14th at the time of writing. But while those 3 consecutive 4th place finishes and a Coppa Italia final between 12-13 and 14-15 might seem like a distant memory, things could be about to get worse for Giuseppe Lascini's men. That's because the jewel in their excellent academy's crown, 22-year-old forward Federico Chiesa, is surely ready for another challenge this summer. Despite his tender age, the 5'11" winger has been a Viola regular for 4 years, racking up 140 appearances in that time. He may have played under 4 managers and finished 16th in 18-19, just 3 points clear of relegation in their lowest placing in 14 years, but Chiesa has remained consistent throughout. 18 goals and 11 assists in his last 98 Serie A games has just about kept Fiorentina afloat. This year he's married a solid 1.4 key passes and 1.6 dribbles per 90 with a truly exceptional 3.8 shots, just 0.2 less than Salah manages at Liverpool. With Juventus and Manchester United having been linked with him in the past, we would be highly surprised if Chiesa was in Florence come next season. 6. Gabriel. Lille have made a habit in recent years of selling their best emerging talents, with Benjamin Pavard, Sofiane Boufal, Yves Bissouma, Rafael Leao and Nicolas Pepe all sold since the summer of 2016. And with the exception of Arsenal's Pepe, they have all cost below £20 million, giving hope to Gabriel's pursuers that he can be bought for a reasonable price this summer. It's easy to see why teams are keen on the centre-back. The 22-year-old made just 16 Ligue 1 appearances prior to this season, but was a regular this term, with only 3 players topping his 2,087 league minutes prior to the cancellation. Standing at 6'3", the former Brazil under-20 international is dominant in the air, winning 66% of his aerial duels, whilst he has also shown excellent anticipation and timing in the tackle, winning 86% of his challenges, 9% more than Virgil van Dijk. Having played every minute of Lille's Champions League campaign against Chelsea, Ajax and Valencia, the Sao Paulo-born defender has already been tested against some of Europe's best attackers. And with Napoli and Everton interested in signing the starlet, and Gabriel himself expressing his desire to leave, fans of Les Dogs can safely assume they have seen the last of him at the Stade Pierre-Mauroy. 5. Michy Batshuayi. Things don't look very promising for the future of Michy Batshuayi at Chelsea right now. Signed from Marseille after Euro 2016 for £33 million amidst interest from Crystal Palace and Juventus, Antonio Conte's first signing has struggled for game time, having made just 14 Premier League starts since the start of 16-17. Clearly there is a talented player in there, as shown by his 9 goals in 14 games while on loan at Borussia Dortmund and his 5 goals in 11 games for Palace at the back end of 18-19. But with rumours persisting of a less than perfect training ground attitude, when Frank Lampard has chosen to rest Tammy Abraham this season, it's been Olivier Giroud rather than the Belgian who has been called upon. 6 years his senior at 33, Giroud has been handed 7 league starts to Batshuayi's 1, and 21 players have played more than his 226 league minutes. 25 goals in 77 games for the Blues isn't a terrible record, but it's clearly not going to work for the Standard Liège Academy graduate under Lampard. With 1 year remaining on his £100,000 a week contract and plans to recruit a left-back and possibly Kai Havertz, Chelsea will surely have to sell the 26-year-old this summer. 4. Aïssa Mandi. Unlike a lot of the names on this list, Aïssa Mandi's career is on the up. Signed by Real Betis over 4 years ago from Rennes, the 55-capped Algerian has emerged as one of La Liga's most underrated defenders. The Africa Cup of Nations champion has played in 87% of Betis' league matches over the last 3 seasons, but while he is used to fighting for a top half finish, Los Verdi Blancos find themselves in 13th, just 3 points clear of 17th place Celta Vigo at the time of recording. And Mandi's performances in 1920 suggest that unlike many of his teammates, he simply deserves better. He ranks first for interceptions and third for blocks in the Betis squad, as well as winning 61% of his aerial duels. But it's with the ball at his feet that Mandi really stands out. No one at Betis can top his 62 passes a game or his 90% pass completion rate, while only goalkeepers Joel Robles and Dani Martin complete more than his 4.7 long balls a game. In fact, only Sergio Canales has completed more than his 63 passes of at least 40 yards in the squad. With such exceptional ball-playing abilities, it's little surprise that both Lyon and Newcastle are interested in offering him a getaway this summer. 3. Milot Rashica. Having spent 13 of the final 14 weeks of the season in the bottom 2, Werder Bremen's miraculous 6-1 victory over Köln on the final day secured a Bundesliga relegation playoff place. Integral to that victory, as he had been all season, was 24-year-old Kosovan winger Milot Rashica, who completed 6 dribbles, fired off 6 shots and grabbed a goal in a magnificent victory for Die Werderaner. And even if Rashica's side don't prevail in their playoff against FC Heidenheim, which will have been played before this video goes live, he will surely be staying in a top league. The forward, who can play on the left or centrally, contributed 8 goals and 5 assists in 28 Bundesliga games this season. Not only did those top his side's scoring and assist charts, but represented 31% of Werder's total tally, just 7% less than Lewandowski's contribution at Bayern. Only 7 players in the entire division managed more than his 2.7 shots per 90, and just Timo Werner and Serge Gnabry completed more dribbles that led to a shot. With Liverpool known to be interested back in May and Wolves and Aston Villa heavily linked, don't be surprised to see the diminutive forward line up for a Premier League side next season. 2. Kalidou Koulibaly. Kalidou Koulibaly has been an enormous part of Napoli's success over the last 6 seasons. Signed from Genk for just £6.5 million in July 2014, he has been a crucial component of Napoli's emergence as Juve's strongest and most consistent challenger up until this season, making at least 33 league appearances in 3 of the last 4 completed campaigns. But the Little Donkeys are now a side in transition. Although they performed exceptionally well under Ancelotti in the Champions League, beating Liverpool twice across 2 seasons, they had struggled to replicate Sarri's consistency in Serie A. Enigmatic president Aurelio De Laurentiis seemingly wants to rip up the side and go again under Gattuso, with Koulibaly, Alan and Milik all up for sale if the price is right. And Koulibaly, with his metronomic passing, which has topped 89% for the 4th consecutive season, and front foot defending, with 4 tackles and interceptions per 90, should fetch the best price. With Man City and Liverpool prepared to put any concerns over his advancing years to one side, expect Koulibaly to leave Naples this summer. 1. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. It's not been an easy period for Arsenal, with the gap to 4th place expanding to 11 points in the league at the time of recording, and with the futures of Balogun and Aubameyang uncertain since the resumption of the season. And while Arteta has overseen a small improvement in results since taking over, with 20 points accrued in their last 13 league games at the time of recording, one more than they achieved in their previous 19, they still don't look like achieving European football. Barring a miraculous set of results, this will be Arsenal's 4th consecutive year without a top 4 finish, and they are having difficulty persuading 31-year-old forward Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to sign away the rest of his career in North London. The Gabonese international knows he only has a finite amount of time left, and having scored 39 league goals since the start of 18-19, the joint best record along with Mo Salah at the time of writing, it's no surprise the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, Inter Milan and Man United all retain an interest. At 31 and unlikely to sign an extension to a contract with 1 year left to run, Arsenal should look to sell off their assets for as much as possible and move on. They simply cannot afford to let him leave for free next summer. So those were our 10 players who are desperate for a move this summer, but what did you make of it? Do you have any suggestions of your own? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, why not click on screen right now and don't forget to like and subscribe to Euro Football Daily, and we'll see you next time.